Please get ready for a dictation of transcription number 274 from Sir Kailash Chandra magazine. 5 seconds. Start. The measure before the House is intended to remove some grave deficiencies in our arrangements for the training of technical personnel. At any time, in any country, it would be a matter of great importance that for the functioning of its industries, there should be technical personnel of satisfactory quality and in adequate numbers for India at this stage of her economic development, when the country is making the maximum effort for rapid industrialization with a view to achieving what we call self sustaining progress. There is nothing more important among the requisites for the success of our plans than this one factor of the availability of suitably trained personnel in sufficient numbers. This deficiency has persisted for some time. It has been brought to our notice by several committees that we should try to persuade the employers to make arrangements for the training of apprentices. The committee, of course, touched the question of institutional training also. Defects are to be removed in the case of both kinds of training, with institutional training and apprentice training. Regarding institutional training, in the course of past 10 years, we have succeeded in making adequate arrangements. We had the experience in the course of the 10th plan and also, I should say, the second plan of shortage of technical personnel of various grades for certain industries. Therefore, we set up institutions and training centers in order to make up that deficiency, and now we are in a happier situation. In respect of many categories of trained personnel, we have now adequate arrangements for training. In the case of craftsmen, to whom this measure refers primarily, I may just give some recent figures. At the beginning of the 11th 5-year plan, we had facilities at the training centers of the Ministry of Employment and Labor for training only about 10,000 persons, and now at the end of the second 5-year plan, the figure has risen to 42,000. We have projected various steps which will enable us to take this figure up to 1 lakh at the end of 12th plan. Similarly, in the matter of technical education of higher grades also, the requisite facilities are being provided so that we do not anticipate any serious difficulty there. But obviously, training in institutions is incomplete without a certain period of what is called in plant instruction, which is very necessary. Therefore, it has to be ensured that they get some practical training. Now we have been experiencing certain difficulties in this direction also. We have found difficulty in placing the young men who come out of our institutions in various plants and industrial establishments in order that they may acquire skill by practical training. We have found much greater difficulty regarding the full course of apprenticeship in the case of those who do not go through the institutional training first. Sir, I may explain that there are two aspects of this legislation for the training of apprentices. One is the objective of regulation and enforcement of certain standards so that if a person receives training in one place, he can go to any part of the country for that type of work, because there will be the guarantee that he had received training of the requisite standard that will ensure mobility of trained personnel throughout the country and also ensure that proper standards are being observed in training. The other aspect is that we have to make sure that we are able to provide the industries with a sufficient number of technical personnel of this type. Stop.